Cool. What's going on, TCA family? We are so excited to be with you today. We got one of our favorite students, DeAndre. He's coming out of Maryland. He's done some crazy things already, a couple deals into the program, made over $9,700 in profits. And this guy, man, he came onto some of the coaching calls, even at work, locking in with us and the coaches. And now he's taking all this information, applying it, and seeing more and more results. He's actually working on another deal right now as we speak.
Absolutely. And DeAndre got heart. That's what we love about DeAndre. He's not, he gives it his all. He asks questions. He shows up. And so we're so excited to just share his journey with you guys. So what we want from you first, of course, is some love. Give us some hearts. Give us some love if you're getting value from this video. And then definitely comment below your biggest takeaway as we go through this interview.
For sure. So, man, just getting right into it, I just want to say thank you for joining us. You're working right now. We were supposed to do this interview yesterday. What type of home are you working on right now?
Right now it's a single wide, 2-bed, 1 bath. Yeah, open deck and everything. It's pretty nice. A little dated, but still nice.
Cool, man. I want to talk about your journey a little bit. I know you've made some profits, but I know your journey, you didn't just come out the gate kind of like doing deals. What were some of the challenges you had just starting out those first 90 days?
Challenges, making the connections. I think that's, making the connections of people and solving the problems. Because I think that I had a problem with trying to figure out what pieces did I need to connect the buyer and the seller. But the biggest was just overcoming myself, honestly.
When you say overcoming yourself, was it your mindset? Was it fear that was holding you back? What was the biggest thing that you had to overcome in yourself to start feeling like you're getting traction in the business?
Me personally, I would say I'm very pessimistic about things. Like sometimes I do see the worst or the bad in things. So I had to overcome that part of myself and stop viewing it as bad. But what I will say is, even with me being pessimistic, I still walked in faith. So even with my mind telling me, oh, that's not going to work. Oh, it's not going to go through. I still woke up every day, hit it on the journey, still got it done. And I, try to ignore the head trash as much as possible. Tell myself it's going to work out. Don't worry about it. That shadow person in the back doesn't know what he's talking about. We're going to get it done. So, and I mean, honestly, that I really do believe that that's really what got me through, just pushing him to the back. Like, okay, I understand that that's a possibility that it might happen. Okay. But we're going to still keep going.
I love it. And I remember on one of our coaching calls, you had a little motto, a little mantra that you would say to keep you going. Can you share that mantra with everyone else? Because I think it relates to a lot of people on their journey.
So I heard it and I do practice it every single day. Like, you don't eat the fruit the same day as you plant the seed. You don't eat the fruit the same day you plant the seed. And I really strongly believe that, just because the deals that I got came from seeds that I planted a while ago that I didn't even know that was going to come back up. And I'm like, oh, wow, that mantra really is true. Like, you plant a seed, months ago and you think, oh yeah, it's not going to happen. Nothing is going to come from it. And then months down the line, oh, it has a whole fruit right here. There you go.
Man, I used to tell Samara to call me Johnny Appleseed back in the day when I was out in the field, man. I just took on that same mindset. Like, I'm just planting seeds, and at one point, I'm going to be in harvest season. And it looks like that's where you are right now. I want to get into your time. Again, when we started doing some of our coaching calls, you would show up, you put the video on like you're doing now, but you used to be at work. And I know you were working full time. So how are you maneuvering, working that full-time job and then running your business and trying to make it grow?
Honestly, I have to strategically plan everything out, just because with my job, it's a really time-oriented job. It's a 9-to-5. I work, in finance and everything, so I can't be distracted with other things. So what I like to do is I'll get up early, earlier than what I need to leave out, get some time in, maybe like 1 or 2 hours, get it in, go to work, do everything that I need to do, take a break once I clock out, jump into the mobile home, mindset and everything. Once I clock out around like 5, try to jump back into it before I have to get into family mode and everything. So that's what my schedule usually looks like. And then if I need off, because usually the seller or buyer can't really meet on like a weekend, which that's the time that's more optimal for me because I work Monday through Friday. So I'll have to request off. I'll have to make sure that I get the seller or buyer to know that I need some days in advance before we can meet like on a weekday. So that's how I'm working it right now.
Man, thank you so much for sharing that. I think a lot of people starting off that have trouble, maneuvering their business with their 9 to 5. I think they're really just having problems with setting the priority. And then, when you do have that priority actually executing, you're taking advantage of your time that you have, even at work. You talked about your break, you talked about the lunches. When you get off work, before you go home, you're prioritizing your business and you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Sounds like you're going into the week with the plan. So I'm excited, man. Thank you for sharing that because I know somebody out there needed to hear that. That's struggling right now.
And like you said, you waking up early. That's
Yeah.
not easy.
Yeah.
Waking up an hour or two early just to handle your business, taking your breaks, handling business, asking for time off to make sure you can get things pushed forward. But that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? You're taking it seriously.
It definitely does. And what I would say is with me being, somewhat of a procrastinator, having the KPI, to hold yourself accountable definitely works. It works a lot because you see what you're doing. You see if you're doing the work or not. And if you're not doing it, what I try to do, just like I said, I'm, somewhat of a pessimist. I try not to look at my numbers and be like, oh, I didn't hit it and everything. I just tell myself, go harder next week. It's fine. Or let's see if I can scrape up the numbers before the week is over or something like that. You just got to hold yourself accountable. Work harder to make the connections. What I have figured out is if you remove yourself from the investor mindset and more so you have remove yourself from the investor and more so the connection or the bridge of the people, because that's I have realized that's what I'm mostly doing, just connecting people to different plugs and everything else, as in like, oh, you go to this county to get this paperwork, or you have to talk to this person to get this done and everything else. So even if I don't know, I have to just connect them to get it where I need to be.
It sounds like you read the book. I don't know if you read it, Go Giver.
I haven't. Who is that by?
Yeah, I don't have the author right off the top of my head. Samira knows I'm not the best with authors. I got the title though, but Go Giver, man. It really talks about being the individual that connects people to people and people to information, man. And you can just live an abundant life just by doing that. You already have that mindset. I think Samira is going to try to grab it for us right quick, man, just so you can see it. You definitely got to read this.
We have a fresh copy.
Yeah.
It's by Bob Berg and John David Mann. Definitely worth getting.
Yeah, definitely get that book. And you mentioned the KPIs, man. For anybody that doesn't know, KPIs are key performance indicators. We are able to look at our leading and lagging numbers. And what DeAndre is talking about is making moves based off of the data that he's looking at with his KPIs versus the emotion. I didn't get done what I was supposed to get done. I didn't get enough calls this week. This isn't working. Now I'm going to lead myself with my emotions, make moves with my emotions, and just not continue to go forward. But now when you're looking at the data, you can just make pivots and small tweaks. It sounds like you've been locking in with Coach Brandon Boyd talking about KPIs.
Yeah, I definitely used all my resources, just like I said. I asked 1,000,001 questions. I'm pretty sure that I got on a few people's nerves and everything, or probably I'm pretty sure I didn't, because everyone is so open with like answering questions and everything. But I always been one of those type of people that if I don't know, I don't mind asking. I don't feel dumb or lesser just from asking a question, because I don't know. So somebody's going to know. So I asked the question, and it really does help. With the KPIs, it helps you stick and go harder because you have set that bar for yourself. So if you don't hit it, then you're only letting down yourself. Nobody else knows your numbers. Nobody else is going to see your numbers. The only person that you're going to let down is yourself. So you can't feel like, you're a loser or you're not making the lead way, because the only person that knows is you yourself. Like,
absolutely. So I want to get into these deals that you just closed. So I know one of them was a bit bigger than the other one. They were both wholesale deals, right? The two?
Yes.
Okay, so
technically the second one wasn't, because I did put money down, but I did treat it like a wholesale.
Can you go over just, a little bit about the deals, just kind of, especially the bigger one, how you were able, like the numbers and like how you were able to get that done? And then let's just start there.
Okay. So the first one first, or the bigger one?
The bigger one. Let's start with that one.
Okay. So the bigger one, this is a seed that I planted that I didn't even know that I planted. I talked to one lady for a whole nother home. Ended up, it didn't work out. I called her, she ghosted me, whatever. But that's when a month later, a lady called me from a recommendation for the lady that ghosted me. She was like, hey, yeah, she recommended me and everything. I have a double wide that needs to be moved. I'm getting a traditional home built in this place. And I was like, okay. So I'm gonna go out and inspect it. I inspected it, really nice. Just a little bit outdated on the inside, but outside was really nice. We worked out a deal where I would give her $1,500 for the home. Once we locked up that, everything was good, but it was just so many steps to actually close it out, as in like permits, licensing, removing it from the actual lot itself, figuring out if it was real property or personal property, everything else. So I spent probably like 3 weeks just going back and forth with that. And plus she had a lawyer that needed like different legal things, on her end. Once we cleared that, we actually settled on a day that I was going to close out on the title itself. But I had the genius idea of, instead of actually closing out, I would host a showing on the same day, just so I can lock in a buyer. So the same day that we were actually supposed to close, I had a showing, locked up a buyer that came from a previous home. Once again, planting seeds that, I couldn't harvest just yet. So I actually got a buyer from that one. We locked it in for 10, closed on, we wasn't able to close that same day because the MVA actually wanted just something else, like one small paperwork and everything. And then we locked it up 2 days later on that Tuesday.
Oh man. I mean, it was 3 weeks of work, but really 2 days from getting it from the seller to selling it again. That's so awesome.
And it took a lot for you to get the deal done. I know you ran into some small, challenges through that. What helped you get through that, knowing that, hey, I've never really done this before? I know you had the smaller deal that you did, but 3 weeks worth of work. How did you maneuver through those challenges that came your way?
Asking every question that I didn't know, honestly. Like if I couldn't reach out to anyone in a group that could help me, literally just calling like the city and just asking people, being connected to this person, to that person, reconnected, hanging up, calling the DMV, seeing if they could help me, calling the courthouse, the sheriff, calling anybody that can answer a question that I had. Because you don't know what you don't know, but somebody out there will know.
Right.
The more questions you ask, somebody's going to answer something, and you might ask a question and then find out something else. Like with the permit of demolition, I didn't know that you would need a permit to remove the actual home. I thought that you could just apply for the permits and just move it, but the city actually wanted a demolition permit, which I found out through the sheriff office. And I didn't even ask that question. He just told me that. So I was just like, oh, good news. So
it's all about making the right connections in the community, and then in your actual community, making
Right.
those phone calls. I know that was your largest deal, your first deal. How much profit did you make on that one?
I made 200 on that one.
200 on that one, $9,500 profit on the other. And that's why we always say, don't feel bad about yourself for only making 200 or 300 or $400 on your first deal. It's all about getting that first one done. By you closing that deal out and making that $200 profit, you didn't lose 200, you made 200. What did that do feeling wise for you? How did you feel getting that done? And what type of confidence did that give to you moving forward?
It relieved a lot of stress. Even though it was a lower amount, I did feel like it's possible. Because before that, it took me 3 months before that deal came set on my plate. Like, it was a park manager that reached out to me. He had a home that needed to be moved off the lot because another home was getting placed. He had a very short time frame, I think within like 1 or 2 weeks, that he needed it moved. So I was just like, okay, I know I personally wouldn't be able to move it because the time frame, and then the money that would be involved with it, because it was like a very mold infested house and everything. I guess some water got into it. So I was just like, okay, so what can I do? Make some connections to get it done. So I made some connections with local investors and everything. I connected with one of the investors. They were really serious about it. I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is the time frame that we have. I locked them in the contract. I connected the people, got the address for the the tag and title place and everything, and there it was.
Basically did this right here,
right,
man.
Another go-giver.
You're just being a go-giver for
Connector.
Yeah.
I think you would love that book.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying. You have heart. Like, you're gonna make it. You're there to serve. You can tell that you're there to serve, because at the end of the day, you're like, how can I connect this to somebody else, help them out? And then you never know if it's a park manager that you did help, he can come back with another opportunity. That's another seed planted by just doing the right thing, getting it done for them, helping them out. That seed will turn into more seeds in the future, just by following, doing what you say you're going to do.
So I want to know, man, obviously you got a lot of stuff going for you. You're working on a home right now. Just how has your overall experience been with the Accelerator program?
Amazing. Amazing. Like, the help out of this world. The community out of this world, y'all too out of this world. Is I don't think, even from before I joined like the program and everything, I felt the connection, through the YouTube channel and everything. I knew that this was, the program and the family that I wanted to join, from the moment that I watched the YouTube. But once I got in, it was a whole nother level, which I didn't think that it was going to be so much of a tight knit community that welcomes everyone in, that just like, hey, you need help? Oh, I got you. Don't worry about it. Oh, I have somebody else that can help you. Or, hey, it's somebody else in your state that can help you. Let me connect you. Like, I never been in any program, any, network that has, opened up so much with like knowledge, love, welcoming, everything. It's just, everything that you would ever need is with this family.
No, man. Yes. Thank you for saying that. We love hearing it. And, when we decided to put the room together, we were just looking out there. We're like, man, for mobile home investing, we don't really have that network, that community feel that the real estate side does. You can go inside different cities, find different real estate investing associations where you have that tight-knit community. It's welcoming. You feel that support and that love, that bond, like people are actually looking out for you. And we just wanted to create that same experience just with our students in the mobile home investor niche. So, man, we are so happy that you feel this way. So honored to be a part of your journey. And our expectations for you are high, because we see you doing the work. We see you learning a ton. Now we just want to see you get from acceleration, push yourself to that ascension level.
Yeah. And we will be there each step of the way. So you're in the right hands. You already know that.
Yeah. And that really is the next step. I would love to, excel beyond, you know, the step that I am right now. I would love to actually create it into a full functioning, you know, business and everything. I didn't go into it thinking that like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna make this just a little side gig or something like that. I really do want to make this a career, and I have seen the lives that I'm able to change with this affordable home strategy and everything. So it's a whole nother world that you can really help people. I know some people do, you know, just talk a big game like, oh yeah, I want to help, but they're more so in the profit. But I really see a need and a opening to actually help a lot of people. Like it like just networking with regular people, park managers, other investors. You can, it's so many different lines where you can help people out. Like so many walks of life.
Yeah.
Think about, like you just said, you mentioned like 3 different aspects, you know, park managers, man, how can I come in and help you? You know, how can I add value to your community? How can I make your life easier? You know, buyers, man, how can I help you find an affordable house? We talk about it all the time. There's so many people out there that cannot afford regular single family homes. And some people are just looking for some affordable housing. Sellers, some of them right now with the pandemic going on, they need cash and all they have is the house to their name. So it's like, how can I come and solve your problem, put money in your pocket? And then also the other investors. There's so many people that are currently in your, you know, the shoes that you started in when you didn't have the knowledge you needed, you know, you were just became part of the community, you needed some extra support. You know, how can I help that person and get them to level up? So that's what it's all about, man. We appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's all about serving. Like you said,
Yeah.
there's a huge crisis out there. I don't see it getting any better anytime soon
No.
with the pandemic, with everything going on. And so we're just there to serve. And I love your mindset. You're like, I didn't come into this to just do 1 or 2 deals.
Yeah.
I came into this to really change my life and to change the lives of other people. So
Yeah.
I love that.
Man, we just appreciate you so much for taking out time out of your day. I know you're busy, you're working on different deals, you got your family, your job, and you're just doing the thing, man. You are doing it the right way. We appreciate you, we honor you, and I don't want anything but more prosperity for you and your family.
Thank you.
If you guys got some value out of this video, like Samara said earlier, hit that heart button, comment your biggest takeaway
He
below.
dropped some gems.
Yeah.
Make sure you comment that takeaway below. We want to see what you guys got from this. And we're so excited to help you get started. So you just got to get out there and be a hustler like DeAndre.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask questions either. So thanks so much for watching, guys.
Thank you.